Hello, dear farmers. This is Pario Joshua, the radical agronomist who works with Omi Agribusiness Development Group Limited at Kampala branch. I'm going to share you some few reasons why flowers are always aborted in tomatoes, and later on guide on what to do to minimize such occasions. Before we delve into the reasons why flowers are always aborted. Tomato is a delicate plant usually that disturbs farmers a lot, and farmers needed to be guided on the necessary precautions from nursery setting through its life cycle on how to maintain the tomatoes so that they will be able to yield for you a better yields, so that a farmer is able to get a high return on investment value. Let's now exhaust each reason why flowers are always aborted in tomatoes. The first one is the stressing factors, such as temperature variation, relative humidity variations, and taking temperature variations, especially when temperatures are very low, they interfere with growth of pollen tubes, preventing normal fertilization, rendering the flower sterile. And usually the temperature range that is required for fertilization is 13 degrees Celsius, and the flowers stay about 2 days for it to be fully fertilized, and past that and your flowers will not be fully fertilized. Hence, flower and fruit abortion. Again, high temperatures render the pollen sticky on the anther. That's why they will not be transferred to the stigma. Meanwhile, the low relative humidity interferes with pollen release, and at high relative humidity, pollen will not be shed properly for fertilization to take place, thus making so many flowers aborted before the fertilization takes place and fruits formed. Our next second factor is lack of pollinators, especially the bees. These are very vital beneficial insects that carry pollen grain from under to stigma of one crop to another. This case might arise due to poor chemical use, especially the chemicals that are harmful to the beneficial insects that tend to kill the beneficial insects. Therefore, farmers should take caution, especially on which chemicals are to be used during flowering stage, so that flower abortion cases due to lack of the pollinators will be avoided. A farmer can as well do manual fertilization by rubbing the male flower onto the female flower so that fertilization can take place. Our third point of discussion is over fertilization, especially fertilizers that have high amounts of nitrogen that tend to antagonize the absorption of nutrients that are highly needed for flower formation and fruit formation. These include the potassium and phosphorus that are highly needed for fruit formation. So when you're applying fertilizers, you need to either balance the fertilizers or you apply what is needed at that stage. And farmers will always target their second top dressing with fertilizers that have high amounts of molybdenum, boron, potassium, and phosphorus, so that they will be able to facilitate the process of flower formation, fertilization, and fruit formation. The boron, molybdenum usually got from BMO and Uxol. They are in high amounts, which are obtained in their foliar sprays. With that, the cases of flower and fruit abortion are minimized. Our fourth point is inadequate irrigation or excess irrigation, where excess water will cause oxygen starvation to the roots, where the roots will not be able to respire and absorb enough nutrients for the plants to use. And in cases of inadequate water, the plants will also be stressed and will not be able to manufacture a lot of food for them to grow. And therefore, farmers will always maintain an optimum moisture content of the soil so that plants are able to absorb nutrients, water, and other necessary requirements for them to make their food so that they will be able to grow healthy and supply the flowers and fruits with the food to grow, thus reducing or minimizing the cases of flower and fruit abortion. The fifth and the commonest point I'm going to discuss is the insect or disease damage from the insects, especially the thrips, the aphids, and the other sucking insects. They usually deprive the flowers from accessing the nutrients or the food that is needed for formation of the flowers or fertilization. And this is cases like the blight, the weeds that deprive the flowers from accessing water, the food and nutrients that are required for fertilization, thus making the flowers and fruits to drop before they are fully formed. So therefore, farmers are encouraged to maintain their fields very clean, healthy, so that they will be able to grow and feed the flowers, the fruits that are formed. With that, the cases of flower and fruit abortions are going to be fully minimized. Our last but not least point of discussion is about heavy fruit setting. This arises mostly when a farmer decides to use a fertilizer that has high proportions of nutrients that encourage reproduction, depriving the nutrients that are required for root formation and vegetative production. This one will deprive the new formation of the apical buds for new flower formation. So a farmer is supposed to balance their fertilizers from the start up to the end so that there is continuous flowering and there is no flower abortion at the end. With this, I beg to stop. Thank you. And thank you so much for your time, for listening to me, and I urge you to observe and identify all the points that I've talked about and try to improve your farm next time. Wish you a bountiful harvest. Thank you so much.